If the sound is on, they don't cut your boy off, YouTube. Evil is screwed. You know it. Yeah. So you about to hear an echo. I checked myself, man. You know, they knocked us off yesterday. Yeah. So you about to hear an echo. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and mute that like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. All right. Elemental forces got niggas out here bugged out. For we don't war against flesh and blood, but spirits and principalities, dark powers, and evil imaginations above your head. Scientists said that is the cosmos stars. They are your influence, but stars are wandering. They are not fixed. That's called solar system. The realm of Yah. The throne seats that fly. Oh man, the spirit moved across the face of the deep. Now y'all think a nigga out here lying. Big Clutch 73, Brocker, Shalom. What it do, bros? We about to get wicked in righteousness. They cut me off yesterday. I had plenty more. All right. But they got mad. Them old scheming, demon, dreaming witches, warlocks. Ain't stand your boy. I love it. At least I know I ain't on the evil side. I'd be worried if we was by the millions. That's scary, bro. Ain't million ain't going to heaven. It's thousands, not even 100. Y'all word? Y'all better read that word, man. But, hey, I ain't nobody special. Shit. The spirit special. But instead of doing some old funny Sunday school Ghostbuster mythology and looking in books that nobody understands, we gonna show you niggas out here that's enacting what the book said. Oh my God. That is my main agenda of why I've been out here since I've been able to been baraka or blessed to have another device without busted screen. Yeah, no more busted screen. Unless I gotta show you a picture. You're gonna have to see the busted screen. That's where it's at. But that jack. We live and scramming. Now, elemental forces, L's the judgment state consciousness. Ment, M-E-N-T, means state mind of consciousness. Your Bible says, what I gotta do with the Bible, BC? God coming in the form of every angel. It's basically Tyler Berry, who puts on the suit called Madea and the Uncle and whatever else he played. Eddie Murphy, all right. All them guys, all right. Miss Doubtfire, anybody that plays a character. Oh, but we don't just act. That's real. They summon the spirit. Taraji P. Henson told you. Denzel Washington told you. Said, no, we got to go in there and summon that spirit. Jamie Foxx told you, oh, we playing Ray. Get that Blackberry Cobbler. Oh, man. But it's true, yo. It's true. Brocker Terrell. Bro, what's good, Brocker? Aki. Y'all be switching up on a nigga, man. He knew I ain't know. It's Terrell. All right. Got you, bro. I lost. Oh, man. Listen. The heresy that's going on, all jokes aside, because it's about to get real serious, you know. If I'm ever throwing jokes in the beginning, man, that's because it's about to get ugly. But we need to know what we fighting. And instead of saying is the word is right, just show niggas that's not reading the word, being tossed like a double-minded man to and fro, meaning that spirits put them on like costumes, you know what I mean? Like Mark chapter 5, Legion. Okay, you wouldn't ask me that no more. You'd be like, shit, I read that. Niggas, that was 3,000 years, dumb nigga doing the same thing, like a rerun. You know what I'm saying? To a movie. Only thing you learn new from something you have seen already is something you didn't pay attention to. But it's not new. Flip the screen.
My mother has dementia.
I didn't leave the door open.
Yeah, you did.
What door? Stop, don't touch me.
Memory. What?
Stop.
Memory. You're calling 911?
Yes.
Is it okay if I speak to me?
No, I'll.
Hey, my mother has dementia and she's not doing well. My neighbor's a little spooked out by it.
Hey, yes, I don't. Hey!
Today's video takes us to Gwinnett County, Georgia. Now, deputies responded to a neighborhood where a reporting person advised that they saw a male attacking an older or elderly female in the street or the roadway near their address. Now, the same reporting person made contact with the person that they observed assaulting the elderly female, to which the male then turned around and assaulted the reporting person, to which led to officers' response.
Now, I don't know if this was said yesterday, but I know it was on the book. We do not war against the insulation we call the vessel. I say insulation because my charger cord is the insulation vessel. It's the body. It's meant to get cut. It's meant to be stepped on. Put a little fire to. Long as you protect the copper or whatever is on the inside. No, you don't damage that. It'll last forever, right? Okay. So is the body to the spirit. A vessel is called a vessel, like a vase. It houses flowers. It's something it stores stuff to keep it safe, to keep it living longer, right? So police, doctors, judges, psychologists, they understand elements is spirits in church. The scientists have to understand elemental forces of the doctor. He needs to know the body before he gets his degree. Scientists, after learning the ether, because you are the micro of the macro. And in order to understand what pill to prescribe to you, I must understand what elemental force I'm putting in you. That's called prescribed medicine, which is pseudo. Not that it's fake, but fake spirit energy formulated like drugs, drinking. It's a temporary fix that you have to keep putting elixirs to keep doing because you have a void in your heart. So is a murderer. So is a rapist. So is all these other heresies. What is wrong with the diddler? Why would he do that? Number one, Diddy is an entity name. That's not his name. His name is Mr. S and with a C, Combs. So the minute you call yourself something the fuck you not, I'm not shocked why you act the way you act. So when you look at the murderer and the rapist, that wasn't me. That's the real nigga. He telling the truth, because when he went to jail, the spirits left him, went right out the wall and went to go get another sucker. Or when he get out, 7 more will be waiting for him to make him worse in his own state. Your own Bible tell you that, but you don't know how to put this because of the philosophical pastors who got a theological degree on this piece of paper, which the word tell you to stay away from. How many Sunday people going to hell? Ignorance don't be judged, but when you do know better, you will be held accountable. So make sure we still going. Preachers don't like it. That's who be, you be surprised. It be religious niggas that be attacking you more than the opposite polarity who you're supposed to be fighting. They are the biggest bitches. I lied. I said evil is because they be accused. At least they be wrong and go before God. But that nigga in wolf and sheep clothing, that nigga ain't trying to see God nor us. But the biggest one out here like this, because he trying to hide, or she trying to hide their lies that they know they lying behind that piece of paper, so they can sit with the Illuminati and be tax free, right? Shut your mouth and you can sit with us and keep tricking people. We'll let you sit at the table, but you are limited, right? Right. And they get the lamp, right? And make you pay and build you about tithes and offering on a building they got on a loan for. Who do that? Well, you better wake up. So when I see people say, I didn't do that, I know he not lying and I know he not crazy. Though the video, I saw your body, but we do not war against flesh and blood. You think the county don't know that? Why did they lock you up? Another example, if you think that's too harsh. A crazy person. Batshit crazy. You call it schizo, bipolar, mental ailment. That's a spiritual problem, bruh. But what we do, feed them drugs. Oh, I'm sorry, medicine, and lock them up in the put them in a room. Is that helping anybody? Did it deliver anybody? Did Yeshua do that? Another example. A 5-year-old child, it take 10 muscular niggas to hold that one 5-year-old child down. Ain't no way. That ain't no demonic strength. Because that ain't Solomon. That's for sure. I mean, that ain't Samson. That's for sure. All right? So, we got a problem here. Why this 5-year-old can throw these big-ass niggas like nothing, bruh? You talking about these niggas pumping 1,000 pounds of iron, son, but this 5-year-old handing them like, shh, nigga, I do too. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, you seen this. But why we don't say, this is a spiritual problem? This man really wouldn't murder this person or whatever. But when you in the money of hustle, when you in the love of money is the root of evil, so you think you know what that means. It didn't say money was evil. It said for the love of it, where you would make a whole gimmick system the opposite of what God did. What if God did us the way the justice system did? Your ass get locked up for years and see if we do better. But if God locked up, your ass going to hell. Right? Right. Thank God he ain't like one of us. So you make up a whole system, fuck up everybody's lives, put something on their name, they can't get a job, this and that. Nowadays, the Bible right. I heard people say, man, this convict murderer came out. I'm not hating on him. He come out, they give him stamps. Boom, he got a job. I done been out here, ain't never had a criminal record. Can't even get a lick to work at McDonald's. I was like, damn. That's crazy. I'm not want to hate on the felons. Don't get it twisted. But I'm like, how you choose that? Then the nigga fuck up and be right back. You know what I'm saying? Then he get out, do the same thing. But you around here ain't never been struggling to get a stamp. Ain't got a lick to put 2 nickels together. It's the way the world is. The world take care of its own. That don't just mean that they look out for them. They take each other out. Y'all don't work like that. So thank God you're not of the world. You know what I mean? Many don't understand that, bro. So when I look, I understand I'm fighting people who ain't covered by God. That's why they on the news. That's why he slept with that baby. I'm not going to ask the stupid question of, why did he do that? We'll see. So, when you get an understanding of the real wars that we're facing, just like magic, it's not about magic. It's about a person selling an elemental force in your home, but you the child of God, but you can't block it. First thing you think is fear. First one saying, have faith, not fear. But when it's time to show that action, your ass do the opposite of what your mouth saying. I didn't want to be like that, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to blow up. Like I said, hundreds of thousands to 1 million is not making it into heaven. It's at thousands. We can do 9,999. Everybody else is spirits, Gentiles let in, guarding the kingdom outside of the kingdom. But the number in Yah is thousands. That's your book. When he told Moses, it's repetitiously throughout the book, many are called, few chosen. The whole world I put out here, but majority of the world ain't gonna come back by their choice. Not that he made it that way, but if you let them tell it, God turned from me, until the spirit meet them like a mirror and they tell with their own mouth, with their own spirit, they ain't worthy. If anybody told you that's what Judgment Day really is, God don't talk to sin. Why would he be at Judgment Day? Let that marinate.
I address. Now, most breakdowns, we usually define what is lawful and what is not. But we're here to dig a little deeper than that, to invoke thought and a greater conversation. I'm Sean Tyree. Welcome to Vest Life.
You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44. Since the beginning of the internet, there's never been such a fun...
My mother has dementia.
I didn't leave the door open.
Yeah, you did.
What door? Stop, don't touch me.
Memory. What?
Stop.
Memory. You're calling 911?
Yes,
Is it
I
okay
am.
if I speak to them?
No, I'm.
Hey, my mother has dementia and she's not doing well. My neighbor's a little spooked out by it.
Hey, yes, I have. Ow! Hey!
So it's clearly some erratic or mental emotional behavior happening from this individual that you saw that just assaulted the reporting person. Now, as horrible as that is, him running down and chasing down his mother, then he's trying to claim that she has dementia. But even if the mother had dementia, there's no way a male is going to come and attack older female or older woman, especially it being his mother or anybody that's older, probably in their late 60s or 70s, as you're tackling somebody to the ground at that age. Now, I don't know who this person is. All right, times have changed a lot. All right, and this right here, if this is a male, I'm not sure, judging from the footies, not trying to be judgmental, right? I don't know if these are footies or low rises or whatever, or tight jeans, but if this is a male and you observe this person attacking your friend, wife, spouse, whoever, and you just stand there and observe, you didn't even go in and try to prevent anything further, man, times have really changed. And I can tell you right now, when dealing with people that assault women, I've dealt with plenty over the course of my career. And 9 times out of 10, although they can be dangerous to a certain degree, most of them are cowards. And I say that disrespectfully, all right? Those that attack women, especially unprovoked, where they're not doing it in self-defense, where, constantly getting beat on and you're just trying to shove them away, but you're intentionally attacking one helpless elderly woman and then another caller that's there, clearly also helpless. 9 times out of 10, they're cowards. And you get somebody that's a little bit their size or a person of authority, they always cower down. That's just what cowards do.
Ow! Hey! You just pulled my hair out!
Hey,
What's going on there, dog? So, come out here and talk to me, actually. Alright, what's going on today?
so my mother has dementia
Yeah.
and I
Sorry.
spoke to you. You want me to bring it?
No, I need to hear. Alright, you going back inside?
Sir, stay there.
Where are you going?
To show you the weed.
I don't need the weed. I don't need the weed.
Yes, you do.
I need the story.
I'll tell you the story, though.
Don't go back inside because it's going to become a whole different situation. Alright? What's going on? Why are you being weird?
I'm being weird because I smoked weed and I'm still high.
Okay.
Yo, calm.
What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong?
Calm.
You want to sit down for me?
All right, so a problem that we're clear.
All right. Now, how many of y'all seen Exorcists? No, real Exorcists, not TV. Remember when they be like, doing all that crazy shit? Remember, the body can't do that. But the body is taken over by a spirit. It has the spirit capabilities. The soul is piped down, if not gobbled whole. So, it's the same thing you seeing. Oh, he gonna crash out soon. I don't know what's gonna happen. I ain't seen it. But people that do like that, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to respect authority, but the spirit in him like, man, that. You know what I'm saying? Like Mark chapter 5. Look at the eyes. They never lie. Look at them. He ain't him. That boy gone, son. That's what you call schizo. What does schizo tell you? I hear voices. That's the Legion, man. But you got doctor, God doggone, well, our Bible say don't be conformed to this world. You don't think medical terms and all that stuff is conformity to the world? It don't fix the problem. It's a temporary band-aid medicine. Put him in the bed, lock him up, go to crazy house. No different than an AA person who want to stop crack or drinking. It's cool because everybody on the same mind. Soon they come back to niggas around it. What happened? Same thing, man. So, we don't know how to fight. But we the first ones, I'm saved, sanctified, woo woo. And when our family members start going loom bloom, where to speak to the situation and bind his ass up and send him to the element like Jesus did while he spoke Aramaic. To further prove, not that he had to further prove to you that my words are in the star system your ass is calling today. But I binded them. I cursed them. Why you focus on that? You can't tell me one molecule star of the 144,000, or at least one soul in the manifold. He ain't gonna say that about me, though.
If you don't notice, this officer's by himself. And as difficult as it may be, being in the county, I understand the county role. If you saw one of my early videos, say, hey, if you're a county officer and if you have backup, if you're in a rural or county agency, your nearest backup, if you're not relying on a city officer to be your backup, your nearest backup is probably going to be at least 20 minutes away, depending on where they are in their district. But normally county, you're so spaced out if you with your district partner, you know, they can be 15, 20 minutes away just to get to your location. And this is
pause. I just do what the spirit tell me. I don't know how these two videos are going to coincide, but I was told to pause, flip, and show you the second clip. We'll come back to that. Let's find out what y'all talking about.
Asked to picture a modern-day war-torn country, what do you think is the first thing they picture in their heads? Groups of people shooting at each other, bombings and destroyed buildings? There's one aspect of war that many might fail to consider at first. That is crimes of opportunity. One of the most horrifying cases we've seen this year involved a little girl and her uncle who didn't just have evil intentions involving her, but wanted a whole village to see exactly what he did. What's even worse than that is not only was he able to avoid prosecution for a while, he, along with many other people, were trying to hunt down this little girl's mother simply for seeking justice for her.
Heaven Awat was a 7-year-old girl living in Ethiopia. She is sometimes referred to as Faven, but the general meaning is still the same: radiance, light, and blessing. Although the date of her birth is unclear, it's been reported that she was born in September of 2016.
Oh, they have guns! What the? Whoa.
Heaven also had a sister who was about 4 years younger than her. Her mother, Abekula Shadeba, was a nurse. On days that she had to work, she often left her daughter in the care of relatives. When Abekula would come home after her shifts, Heaven scurried to give her mother a big hug. It was the highlight of her day.
During her short life, Heaven became very familiar with the concept of war and its consequences on everyday people. The Tigray region of Ethiopia was the center of military conflict. On one side was the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, which was essentially the federal government. The other was the Tigray People's Liberation Front, which has been described as an ethnic nationalist paramilitary group and officially classified as a terrorist organization by multiple countries up until 2023, and has been connected to several human rights violations. The conflict was the product of complex tensions going as far back as the 1990s, and arguably even further than that. It lasted from 2020 to 2022, with a rebellion in 2023, and further political conflict to this day. As is the case with many other civil wars, the conflict led to destruction in Ethiopia, especially in the Amhara and Tigray regions in the north. Both factions accused the other of war crimes, blockades, famine, and civilian deaths in the thousands. A third of the population had to relocate. It's reported that humanitarian aid was limited to certain parts of Ethiopia, and there still isn't an exact number of casualties from this period. This is obviously a very oversimplified version of a very complicated period of recent history. We bring it up because it does become relevant in the more recent coverage of Heaven's story. For better or worse, Heaven's story is often told through the lens of the conflict's aftermath in an effort to understand why things happened the way they did. Heaven was among many displaced from their homes. Her father, who was a man of Tigray ethnicity, was imprisoned by the federal government. As far as we can tell, the reason as to why was never reported. He may have been actively part of the Liberation Front, or he may have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Following his release and reportedly feeling unsafe in Amhara, he fled to Tigray. Doing so, he left his family behind, and Abekula found herself a single mother to 2 young girls. Aside from his absence in his family's life, we don't know much else about Heaven's father. We don't know his name, his age, what he looks like, or what he did for a living. In the grand scheme of things, Heaven's father is a minor figure in today's case. Still, it's hard not to imagine how Heaven's story could have been different if her family had remained intact. While living in the city of Bahir Dar, Heaven and her mother became acquainted with their landlord Getnet Baya. Abekulesh and Heaven were related to Getnet's 15-year-old wife, so the mother felt like they were in a safe environment. There was no indication that Getnet was a dangerous individual.
On August 1st, 2023, Abekulesh went to work and left her daughters in the care of Getnet's wife, who was their aunt. Heaven excused herself to use the bathroom, and she never came back. The aunt knew something was wrong and went searching for her niece. Maybe she got lost or distracted or went looking for something. No one could have predicted what happened to Heaven during the period she was missing. Getnet Bea had lured Heaven away to an isolated place where he essayed her. He forced sand down her throat so she couldn't scream. By the time it was over, Heaven's muscles were severely damaged from the inside.
Excuse me, sir, how old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
We will spare you some of the more terrible details, but purely to highlight how evil this man was, it should be noted that his attack on Heaven was so brutal that her spine had partially fallen out of her. The dirt and sand turned into a cement-like paste in her mouth. To cover up his crime, Getnet strangled Heaven. She was so small he only needed to use one hand and his fingertips. He subsequently doused her with a bucket of bleach to wash the blood from her and cut her with a razor. He left her on the front doorsteps under a balcony to make it look like she had fallen. It was a place he knew where she would be seen by not just her family, but by the neighbors as well. In an interview with EOHA Media, Heaven's mother, Abekulesh, shared the following. You can only see her spinal cord. Her uterus is gone. She bled. He suffocated her. He used his 5 fingers to strangle her by the throat. His 5 fingers were found on her throat. She bled a lot. He used a bucket to wash her body. After he washed her, he opened the door. Where does he leave her? On the edge of our house where the kids play.
The person who discovered Heaven was not a passing bystander, nor was it Heaven's aunt. It was actually Heaven's 3-year-old sister who found her. Heaven was rushed to the Ammon General Hospital and was pronounced dead on arrival. Abekulesh was held back from seeing her daughter due to the horrifying state that she was in. She called out Heaven's name, hoping in vain for a response. She said everyone was in tears. Doctors, nurses, janitorial staff, and even the security guards. It was clear to the medical professionals that Heaven didn't.
We don't war against flesh and blood, right? True terminology. Monsters live in humans. The definition of human also is monster, because you can collect them. Only a monster can do these things, right? Back to the last clip.
Of how agencies do things, right? City officers, if you get a domestic call, you're responding. There's at least 2 officers, depending on how busy the agency can be. It could be up to 3 officers there. When you get the dispatch of there's a domestic violence where a male was observed assaulting a female or older or elderly female, 1 officer is never going to be enough, because normally, even with the investigation, somebody's going to get arrested. If it becomes true, because you're going to have to assume that the possibility of the dispatch or the reporting person is telling is somewhat accurate or truth, you already have 2 assaults, domestic and then assault from a reporting person. There's no way 1 officer should be there by himself. And clearly you can tell that this guy is not in his right state of mind. And he's a strong guy, right? It'll be a terrible position to be in, you being by yourself and having to detain this person. Even if you have the capability, why not give yourself that advantage? And for counties, that's always a possibility that you're going to end up at the call by yourself. If it's not something that's rushed, right, you can even wait for your backup to arrive. If it's something that's not in progress, meaning that the assault isn't in progress currently, where you pull up and you see people fighting and you have to engage to a certain capacity.
What if you could make a song using only your voice?
Oh my God.
Let's start with the drums.
The distractions are super real today.
Hey, back up. You're gonna get tased. Don't go back inside the house. Sit down. What is going on? What did you take?
I was trying to show
Just weed?
Okay. What are you doing?
Yo, I don't know if the spirit is connecting dots, but there is fatty wop, fentanyl in the recreation and the hood and wherever you go, right? Then we not just go through this past 3 days, but I know I just did a message. So yes, he think he just on, but he not. See, when you start out chemicalizing stuff that don't need to be out chemicalized for alchemy, mixing 2 or more things together that should not be, this is what happens. See, sorcery, bruh. Liquor is alchemy, bruh. Say beer, wine, liquor, spirits. It's telling you, bruh. Elemental forces is making an elixir, bruh. That's why he's under the influence through smoke, bruh. For whatever agenda, wherever he got that smoke from, whether they prayed in it, whether it was the government. Nah, that's not what herb do, bro. Now I don't know if he took more things, but I'm telling you, this is how it happened with people like, yo, I just rolled up and smoked, buddy. What happened? Nobody put nothing in there. Well, where it got it? Where you got it from, put it in there. You can tell he doing cuckoo shit, man. And like he trying to be himself. You see when he pulled out that taser, ASAP the spirit let the man take control. He was like, Zed.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down.
You tried to blind my mind. You said calm. Ah!
See?
Taser deployed.
Crashing
No,
out.
stop.
This is Mark chapter 5, brothers and sisters. And that man said he was howling at the moon, breaking iron chains. Brian Hogan can't break iron chains, bro. Alright? That's like a 5-year-old throwing got doggone muscle man like they toys, bro. That's not normal. That's something. Come. Try to get to you like he told the woman. Hey, till you get to it, bro. Bro, I saw that a mile away, but I have spiritual discernment. Now everybody has that. You know what I'm saying? Now look at him. Let's see if the spirit left the body yet.
No, I mean, you don't win. You don't win. Reality.
So I want to pause this. When you hear me from my earlier videos, when I say, having back control, taking control of the hips, preventing the person from getting up. Now, either he trains, meaning this officer here trains off work, or they have a good program inside of their agency. But look at this. Now, I will note, all right, depending on the state, mainly West Coast, or even East Coast, but definitely West Coast, when he put his arm around his neck, they're going to be a no-no. I've seen officers get in trouble in the California area, the Washington State area, the Oregon area, all West Coast, political reasons, right? Or even East Coast, New York area, where officers have now been instructed where VNRs, which is vascular neck restraints, are deemed illegal, and officers can't utilize that technique for the simple fact that VNRs can now be labeled or deemed as excessive force. And in some cases, depending on how hard your grip is that you have when you lose yourself, it could be deemed lethal force. So this is Gwinnett County, Georgia. Might be something different there, Southern State. But at the same time, he still controlled himself. Look at this. This is perfect. What we have here is perfect back control, right? As soon as that the taser deployed, he immediately went in, got a good position right for the underhook of the right shoulder. All right, so he can hold the shoulder while the over, what you see here is the over, which is over his neck, right? Perfect back control. This would be hooks in, all right? So you got nice hooks in situation where he's holding his hips. Now that's going to prevent him from either rolling or trying to turn around, right? Which will put him in this guard, if you understand guard. I don't get too submerged in the lingo for those that don't necessarily do or train jujitsu outside of work or on their daily life. But right here is what you got. This is perfect control. Now you can just wait. Now you're just holding that position until your backup arrives. yeah, you can wait there 15, 20 minutes as long as there aren't any other people inside the home that's going to try to come and attack you while you're dealing with one person. But you got this one person right here. This is perfect. This is what you want. And this is what's going to prevent you or prevent the officer from getting injured or getting into a more heightened situation by just already establishing a dominant position and just holding it.
VoiceMod gives you over 150 lag-free real-time voice changers
right?
and unlimited soundboards.
Why they tweaking? He warned him, but he's dealing with a spirit.
Stop moving.
He's dealing with a spirit, an effing spirit. They cares nothing about nobody's life.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna put you in here, and if you sit here and you try to fight with us, we're gonna force you in here.
Yes.
All right? Sit down on the seat. Sit down on this seat. I'm gonna
Get out, 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 get out.
See, the spirit is still in the body. The minute that he start respecting authority and cooperating, the spirit will leave the body. See? But when you in that position, they'll punch you in the mouth. Ain't nobody trying to hear nothing about no warring against that. I'm being real. Like, this nigga just punched me in my mouth. I'm about to knock this nigga out. I'm saying? First thought come to your mind. Let's be real. Then spit on you or something or do some cuckoo shit and you want looking for that, bro? Man. I'm just being real. All right? But the truth of the matter is, that's a soul crying for help in Mark chapter 5 with legions in it. But me and you see it wilding out. That's all spirits, man. That's all the legions. Schizo. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I got a call. Hopefully it won't knock me out. You know what I'm saying? That's my mom. I'll have to call her back. All right. I think we in there. All right. So, the man crying for help, bro. But his cry for help is fighting. Rah, rah. But deep down inside is y'all Bible, Mark chapter 5, man. The soul is not doing that. The spirit that entered it.
You code 4?
Yeah.
Look at me.
So I definitely want to say great job for the deputy. Him being by himself is still doing his best to control that situation. And other than not waiting for a backup or already having a backup en route before making contact with this suspect here, he still did a great job, right? Utilizing the taser, which even though it was a taser 7, good thing it was effective, meaning it had a good spread, so it caused the reaction that...
Boy, the distractions is real today. There go my brother. Hold on. All right, I'm back.
That one would want, right? That neuromuscular incapacitation. And like I told you before, the stronger you are, right? The more muscle that you have, the more effective the taser is, right? The more muscle mass that a person has, the more effective the taser is going to be, right? Less body fat, high density of muscle, easier to lock up. And with him using his training, I say either outside of work, inside of work, but immediately going and taking it back.
And now you see why we should be covered with this, with the armor of Yah. Now we got an manifesto. All right. Knew he was wrong because he tried to cover it up. You were bold to do the sin, be bold for the consequence.
Fall from a balcony. The internal injuries were just too severe to come from a fall and fell more in line with a violent SA. The bruises and marks on her neck were very clearly from strangulation. Getnet's wife tried to console the grieving mother, and Getnet himself had the nerve to make himself present. His wife cried with the Bekulesh, but he was unemotional. No tears, no words of condolences, No offers to help her through this difficult time, nothing at all. Getnet tried to sell the idea that heaven fell from the balcony. By the time Abekulesh saw heaven for herself, she knew that was impossible. Remember, she was a nurse at the time, so she was no stranger to injuries, no matter how severe. Just like the doctors, she knew that her daughter had been assaulted and disposed of like an object. She believed whoever attacked Heaven wanted to leave her someplace where she would be found. They wanted her mother and potentially others to see what was done to her.
It didn't take long for police to suspect Getnet, as he was unaccounted for during the time Heaven initially went missing. He was arrested by authorities but escaped a short time later. The police.
So, and instead of us saying criminals get out of jail and then they be stupid and go right back, could that not be a reprobated mind? Why do we always speak highly intelligent in spirituality but have no power in the actions when it's needed? So just as well as a backslider in church, I stopped smoking, then they start smoking after a time. Wow, it's the same thing. He murdered, he did his time, come out, murder again, do something stupid, he back in there. He not delivered. Why am I saying that? Then why lock the people up if it don't work? Why we not speaking and casting out the spirit and go and sin no more? Just like the following of the Messiah, you claim that many claim they do. But then you don't see these things until it's in their home. And the first thing when they child or something happen, I got to run the pastor like he created that baby or he your wife or husband. You can't love someone that you didn't, you know what I'm saying? You love that child. Fuck the pastor. You better learn how to pray to God and speak to the mountain and watch it move. These niggas in school. When you get that degree and you get that job you wanted after all that hard work, you don't be like, thank you, teacher. You be like, I did the hard work and I accomplished. Where the teacher at?
Was populated with detained members of Amhara militias. The militias organized a break-in to free their allies, and Getnet escaped in the chaos. During this time, he threatened Abekulesh and her younger daughter with deadly force. They moved around to evade him and eventually had to go into hiding. Abekulesh had to leave her nursing job and many further jobs after that out of fear of being found. As most of our viewers are in the US, and if you are, you might have a hard time comprehending this, because here, a man who brutally murdered a child and escaped prison would be priority number one for sure. Someone capable of this would certainly strike again. However, despite the severe charges against him and the potential danger he posed to other children in the community, Getnet was not a high priority for local law enforcement. Abekulesh made every attempt to get her fears taken seriously, but it took roughly a month for Getnet to be returned to police custody. Even after this, Abekulesh had to look over her shoulder since his family took it upon themselves to continue threatening her.
Following a trial by the High Court of Bahir Dar, Getnet was sentenced to 25 years in prison without the possibility of parole. The public was outraged, believing the punishment was much too light for such a horrific crime. The Ethiopian Women Lawyers Association were very vocal in their disappointment. They released a public statement which was later quoted by international outlets. The murder by itself should have been enough to sentence him to life imprisonment or to death. It's especially sickening and outrageous when such a horrendous crime is committed against children. However, the High Court in Bahir Dar still thought only 25 years was enough punishment for his crimes because they, and I quote, concluded that the child died as a result of the defendant's violence and strangulation when he raped her because she was too young to withstand the pressure. Now, how that quote is supposed to justify Getnet receiving such a light sentence is beyond me. Gogi Tesfaye, who is Ethiopia's Minister of Women, Children, and Youth, added her voice to the chorus. She offered her condolences in a post on Facebook and promised to pursue further litigation against Getnet Beya. Her post, translated from Amharic, reads, In order to protect children's rights and safety in our country, the Minister of Women and Social Affairs is working in coordination with the relevant authorities to save children who are vulnerable due to social problems that are happening in different areas, especially by establishing a system of action to prevent violence against children and to enable them to get the right and comprehensive services to ensure that children's issues are being recorded. The Child Case Management Digital System, in cooperation with UNICEF, is being made to strengthen the coordination works by extending to Kabele, which means a ward or neighborhood. On behalf of our ministry and myself, I would like to express our condolences for the horrible, inhuman crime that happened regarding the child Heaven, who was brutally murdered recently. Although the case has been decided, we would like to express that we will work with the judicial authorities and follow up the case.
This is why there's a spiritual judgment day for the children of the mother. Genesis chapter 3, verse 20 to 22. Oh, wow, y'all. It knocked me out again. Let's see. See? There's a delay. Verse 20 to 22. Boom. Oh, wow, y'all. Not me out. It say the serpent seed versus the mother of the living seed. Where the father at? Where the son at? Again, why Revelation say
mother of the living seed again her conflict.
I don't know what that was. Hey, I just started talking about the mother of the living seed, bro. I don't know what's going on, bro. There's some weird stuff happening on this live. But they tried to cut me like they did yesterday, but couldn't cut me this time. So we are the children of the mother and of the father. What is adopted is the inheritance of the king and queenship of sitting on the throne, being as Christ. But we're children of the Most High. Not all of us, because some got grafted in. But they know who they are. That's them special capability type niggas. But we have the Holy Spirit power. We ain't disappearing, because how can that save a soul? So if it ain't saving nobody, don't look from it from the Most High. Brocka YouTube until the next breath class. Peace.